Hey guys, welcome back to Theater Advice, our new kind of theater room here. I painted it tricorn black, it's really cool. I think it's the first video I'm shooting in this room, so I think so. So you're seeing it for the first time. It's a pretty cool room though. It's kind of where I really show screens and stuff like that. But today we're gonna dive into one of my favorite audio brands in the whole world. To me, they're top three with Focal, Sonus Faber, KEF, I guess top four, because they're different. So those other three brands, they do a lot of the same type of stuff. Totem, I've chased them for years, and I'm sure they would have signed up for me. I just always want to bring in a brand. I have to tell you a little bit of this story to show you why it's so important to not only just us, but our lineup and our clientele. So what happens is when they come in here, and I'm sure if you guys follow me, I talk a lot about screen technologies, ambient light rejection screens, and you ask, well, what does that have to do with audio? It has a lot to do with audio, because the second you go away from these inexpensive white weave screens like this guy for 1,600 bucks, and people start to go, well, wait a second, I want that instead. You know, I want this ambient light rejecting screen. Now you either can't poke holes in that guy, or it's very expensive to poke holes in that guy. So you start going with the slates, Firehawk G4 from Stewart Film Screen, Black Diamond. It starts to either add money, or you can't put holes in it at all. So for years, this has occurred at Theater Advice, where I'm like, well, let's go to on-walls. Well, the only really good on-walls out there are like the Focal 300s and stuff like that, and I sell them all the time. They're really, really big, form factor very large. Their small ones sound pretty good, but not like ultra amazing. And they're fairly expensive. They're like over 1,000 and then 1,600 bucks, I think, for the large one. So they're very expensive. So I called Totem. They specialize in on-walls, and I'm like, I think it's time I bring in your stuff. Well, I started looking at their full line, and I'm like, now you guys have a lot of good in-wall speakers and a lot of other stuff. I'm gonna bring a bunch of stuff in and just see really how I like it. I love their vendor story. The guy Vince, who owns, I think his name is Vince, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry, who owns the company, is a tinkerer. And what you need to know about Totem, why I brought them in, is I have passion for audio, and I expect the people that make audio to have that same passion. Some of these big companies just have hedge fund people behind them, and there's not really that much passion anymore. He's still a tinkerer. He takes these drivers, overbuilds them, figures out, he's obsessed with phase, time alignment, all of that stuff, making sure things get to your ear at the same time, things of that nature. And not a lot of their stuff is ultra expensive. So they bring me this speaker. This is the Kin Solo, and I love it because it's like Han Solo. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So this is the Kin Solo. It's a phenolic driver, which really just means it's like a temperature. It's a way of like making plastics stick together with temperature and resin and stuff like that. So it's a phenolic driver. And then a soft dome tweeter, and it's a titanium infused soft dome tweeter. So this little speaker here, which you can see, is really small. You know, I kind of expected it when it turned on, and I can't play it for you, not that it would matter because it's not gonna sound good through YouTube, but I expected it to sound shallow. Every time I go from a big center channel to an on-wall speaker or even an in-wall speaker, a lot of times you lose some of that like voice, that bottom voice, that depth of the voice. And so, maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you fill it in with a subwoofer a little bit, but there's just always something missing. These things kind of don't do that. They're side ported, so there's a port here and a port on top. So they're top and bottom ported or side ported on the center channel. They are wall mountable, obviously, vertically or horizontally. They have a special bracket. Every time I bring something up to them, I'm like, hey, your in-wall speakers, you know what people hate? People hate white grills. They're like, oh, well, we make black grills. And then I'm like, well, people also hate when the center channel is below the screen. They're like, oh, we make a bracket for 80 bucks and it brings the center channel forward. It's almost like someone there is actually listening to dealers or listening to people. It's like they just fix all the little quirks that a lot of the other companies do. And then I get it in here and it sounds freaking great. I mean, my sales guys in here listening to these on-walls all day long. I like the in-walls that are behind the screen more, but they're also more money. So these are $699. There is tariffs on them right now, but they're $699. So they're about $840 or something like that with a tariff. But under $1,000 for a really solid cabinet, really, really musical, super, super detailed, just like everything Totem does. I just think they're an absolutely sickeningly good company. And I brought them in, and I have to tell you, I'm way more impressed with them now than I was before I brought them in, which is a big deal when I'm cutting holes in my showroom and doing all this stuff to bring some stuff in. So these are the Kin Solos. That's the review that I'm reviewing now. They are awesome. You should hear them anywhere. You should absolutely put them in living rooms, in theaters. When you got to get something out and around the screen, or you're trying to get more separation. I mean, they look good. They're really, really sleek. They're really, really fit and finish is good on them. They're just a freaking awesome speaker. They got the totem symbol, so if you don't even want the grill on, you can take the grill off. They're fully magnetic without even any marks or holes. So they're just meant to look like that if you're a grill off kind of guy. And then the magnets just kind of stick on there. Build quality, unbelievable. These are their made in China brand. Anything KIN or kin from them is gonna be their technology, their designs made in China to save a ton of money. Anything in their Tribe line, which we're about to get to, that's all handmade in Canada in Montreal. So their stuff is really, really crazy good. I'm so excited about this brand. We've already sold a metric ton of Totem, and it's been here for less than a month. So that says a lot, because we're letting people listen to stuff, and people are like, I want those. So it's definitely something to listen to. It's an exciting, exciting brand, and I really think you need to dive into it, or come here and listen to them, because they're all here now. So on to the next review.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for listening to whatever I was just rambling about. And of course, if you are in the Dallas area or surrounding areas and you can get here, visit our showrooms in Frisco or South Lake location. And now we can help you anywhere, from anywhere in the country, through the world's first mom and pop shop on the internet called FCAVsystems.com. We are very excited about this project. We're happy to bring what Theater Advice does here in Texas to everyone. Thanks for watching.